It was all over me. She puked all over my face.
Willow did.
Yeah.
Because I gave her water.
No, that's what she puked up, was
Oh.
a whole stomach full of water.
Welcome to A Queer, a Hippie, and a Karen. Welcome to A Queer, a Hippie, and a Karen. Just to kind of remind you guys, you can find us on Spotify and YouTube by searching A Queer, a Hippie, and a Karen. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok by searching Queer, Hippie, Karen. And if you have any ideas or want our opinion on something, you can email us at queerhippiekaren@gmail.com. And you'll notice that this is the third episode that you are seeing Tessa and I in the same outfit. You can't see our Karen, but she's wearing the same outfit. Like I said in previous podcasts, we don't always are able to get together, so we record multiple podcasts at one time. I brought you guys some treats.
They look interesting.
So for those of you that don't watch us on YouTube... Oh, a happy baby. We have what's called Della Rosa. Tessa's going to go grab baby real quick. Which looks like this. So these are Mexican candies. This is... It sounds like ASMR because I can hear your wrapper. And it tastes like peanut butter. This is one of my favorite treats that I have. I love them.
Looks like cheese.
This is what it looks like, guys.
Looks like it should be on a charcuterie
Should I be
board.
like the makeup people and be like, oh, focus?
No.
So we're going to try this. So all you do, Brie, is you open it and kind of grab it and just take like a piece of it.
What's on my face?
And it just kind of melts in your mouth.
Mm-mm.
You don't like it?
I don't like that sound.
Tastes like nougat.
I love it. I love it.
It's so dry.
Like, it tastes like nougat with like nuts
It's
in
like
it.
stuck all over my mouth.
Have you ever?
You ever seen those TikToks where it's like, day 867, no sex. I ate 2 Popeyes chicken biscuits just so I can choke on something. That's when you said it was so dry.
Have you ever had like the Zero candy bar? It comes in a silver package, and
I have seen it. I've never tried it.
that's what this tastes like without the chocolate covering it.
Oh, I want chocolate covering it.
You would like, if you like this, you would like a Zero bar.
I'm going to have to get one now.
That's exactly what it tastes
It's
like.
that dry?
It might be a little moister, but
Like a little more tacky.
same flavor. It's got that little like bits of nut in it, like that. Yeah.
The next thing we're going to try, it's called Poporindo. Here it is here. A lot of Mexican candies are flavored with what's called tamarind. This looks to be kind of like a fruit leather, I would say.
It is a fruit leather. It says that on here, doesn't it? Oh, no. With real fruit.
Now, I like tamarind.
This looks sketchy, guys.
It does look very sketchy.
Here's what
I'm
it
not
looks like
gonna
on
lie.
the inside.
Oh, it's a texture of like Laffy Taffy.
Oh. It melts. Tessa, your face.
This is not candy.
Brie took a huge bite.
Yeah, I did.
Bree. This is not candy.
Willow wants a bite.
This
I
should
will
go on
agree.
like a sandwich or something. Like a piece of salami.
This is what I imagine. I've never tasted it, so I could be wrong. But if you were to like dehydrate Vegemite, like Australian stuff, that's what this looks like and what I would imagine it to taste like. I bet I'm wrong, but
You can taste the granule sugar in it.
It's not awful,
No, but it's for sure something that you're not gonna like.
but it's not candy.
Like when I get like M&Ms, I eat the whole bag. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna eat the whole box of that in one sitting.
No, I'd barely eat the whole bar.
Yeah, it's just something you.
But it's not terrible. It reminds me of on Christmas, my niece had come over with some of the candy she got in her stocking. And it was these like, it was almost like sucker stuff, but it was like on like thin plastic. It was like rolled out thin on like plastic sheets in between them. And you're supposed to dump like, was it tamarind or that tahine stuff or whatever? But you're supposed to like sprinkle that, and it came with sticks, and then you like sprinkle it on there, and then you like roll this like really thin layer of like sucker stuff onto the stick with the seasoning on there. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a Mexican
Yes,
candy.
I do.
And the candy itself is really good. It tasted like a mix between a fruit roll up and a Jolly Rancher.
I have some of that sprinkle stuff you put on there. It's
Okay.
really good on fruit, like on
Okay.
citrus. Just kind of sprinkle it out like oranges or grapefruit.
Interesting.
So good. So
What is that? Is it tahine?
I think so. I guess I can't be for certain.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
We're hoping to try more things in the future. I'm very echoey in my headphones, and I'm hoping that it's not gonna portray to the listeners. I'm feeling like I'm in a box, a metal box. Anyways, today Bree wants to talk about our pet's family. And maybe not so much our pet's family, but more the extremists. Right? This is my son. This is my son, Doggy Doo. Or whatever. This is my daughter. They must go everywhere with me. So I pulled an article from psych.org, or phys.org, phys.org, and it says, sociologist confirms what pet parents know. Pets really are a part of the family. So it says that 85% of dog owners and 76% of cat owners think of their pets as family. Now, we all have pets. Tessa's a dog owner. One of her dogs is a horse. He's huge. And Bree and I both have cats.
We each have two.
We each have 2 cats. So, Tessa, what is your view on pets being owners? And I know sometimes, like, you kind of got stuck with your second dog.
Dogs are definitely part of the family. But they are not your kids. It is not the same as raising kids. And I cannot stand when people make that comparison. Because I cannot, like, just put my kid in a kennel when it's annoying me. Or I can't leave it outside on a chain when it won't shut up. Like, not the same. Not the same.
It's not the same. And I agree that pets are part of the family. Are they an equivalent part of my family? Me personally, I would say no.
Right.
You know, like, you know, some people will say like, oh, if it came down to a choice between my kids or my pets, there's no choice. They're equal. No, they're not.
Oh, my dogs better figure out a way out of the house.
Exactly. You know, like situations where like people are willing to go like homeless because they're no longer allowed to have their pet. And you know, if it comes to me and my children being on the street, the pet's gone.
Right.
Part of the family or
new
not.
home.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. You find them a good home, of course, but
So in this article, they call it a multi-species family.
okay.
And they
That's
say,
taking it a little far.
I know, right?
I'll be back.
And they're saying, is language a barrier? So some sociologists argue that human-animal social interaction does not exist because animals do not share language with humans. And then it goes on to say, but the behavior of pet owners says otherwise. American families consider their pets in decisions such as child rearing, home buying, job location, travel, and budget. Americans in 2020 spent more than $103 billion on their pets, which is a $6 billion increase from the previous year. Now, I'll say, my husband and I, we have 2 cats. And when we're talking to the cats about each other, we do use the phrase dad. Now, I don't think that we're where we're saying, like, this is our child, but we do say, like, you know, stop bugging me, go to dad, kind of thing.
We do that in our house too, and I mean we still have kids in our house, so we kind of refer to each other as that in the home anyways.
Right.
So it's a relatable word that they're already hearing us call each other to our kids and things like that, so it's just kind of natural.
I think it is too. Just because I remember when I had our kids in the house, it was go talk to your mom, go talk to your dad.
Right.
It wasn't by name.
Yep.
Or anything like that. So they say pets and birth rate. So Lawrence Simpson also suggests that the growing emphasis on the multi-species family has affected the declining birth rate in the United States, saying that the U.S. total fertility rate, a measure of the number of children born per 1,000 women, hit a record low in 2020, continuing a constant decline that began in 2007. Now, to me, that's a little different. So I think I was listening to a podcast a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about the reason that we have a lower birth rate is because the younger generation these days, one, doesn't want children and doesn't feel they can live the lifestyle they want to live with having children, because it is expensive to raise children in the U.S. And so to me, this one's a little like, I don't know. Like, are you deciding to have a puppy rather than a child? I feel like what this article is kind of trying to lead us towards. So.
Yeah, I think it's more related to the economy than it is to people deciding to own pets.
Yeah. This also talks about the rise in non-traditional family structures, such as single-parent families, child-free families, grandparent families, and the LGBTQ families have paved the way for the rise of the multi-species family, she says. She asserts that some of the conditions that created the multi-species family go back further to the Industrial Revolution, when families began to focus less on subsistence and more on loving, belonging, self-actualization, and self-happiness. I think that's kind of where we are with our economy now. I mean, I'm no professional on where the economy it is and why we're at where we're at and why things are so expensive right now and stuff like that. So I can't speak to that, but I do know I'm paying more for things.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now. And I'm even seeing it in my pet supplies too. And to me, when I think about it, it's like companies are trying to make up for what happened with the pandemic and how much less money they brought in, and now they're trying to make up for it.
True, but I think on the other end, it's not even so much as them trying to make up for it. It's easy as the consumer to feel that way, like, oh, now you're just charging me more because you've lost money. But I think their overhead cost on the other end is they're paying more as well.
Right.
So it's not even that they're charging us more and making that much extra off of us. They're paying more for the product and having to charge us more to purchase that product.
You're back.
I'm back.
So we haven't learned how to, if I were to hit stop on a recording, it would just stop it and not pause it. And I'm not a good video or audio editor, so I don't know how to put them together if we were to do it. So you may see us come and go as the needs of the peanut gallery happens. So I found this article on Psychology Today that says why some people think of pets like children and others don't. And this was written by Vanita Mehta. She's a PhD. She says in recent years, the relationships between humans and their pets has been changing. To wit, people increasingly see their pets as core family members. This shift makes sense when you consider the myriad ways that the American family has changed since the 1950s. She goes on to say that roughly 20% of the participants firmly did not see themselves as pet parents, and approximately 15% only somewhat felt themselves to be pet parents. So I think there's like the difference between pet owners and pet parents. So, are you a pet owner or a pet parent?
I'm a pet owner.
I would call myself a pet owner.
I think for me, it depends on the day and whether my pet is annoying me or not.
But you don't have kids at home.
Right, it's just us, so we have a different relationship with
Yeah.
the animals.
That
So-
makes a big difference, I think.
You know, and that kind of raises a question for me when it comes to having pets in the home when children are being raised. Of course, it's great for children to have a good bond with the pet. They're great for support and all of that stuff. But should you be drawing that line rather than encouraging your family and children to consider that person as an equal part of the family as if they're a human family member? Because then it goes back to
Right.
those attachment issues.
Right.
Is that a thing? Because most pets are not living a life as long as a human.
Right.
So when you have, cats live a little longer, but a lot of dogs, they live for 7 to 10 years. So you're looking at potentially having 2 to 3 different dogs in your child's lifetime if they live their full expectancy and they're constantly dealing with the loss of a family member, essentially.
Well, no, like I recently had to put my dog to sleep. We did have a dog in the home. Just health. What's up, buddy?
I'm done.
You're done? What would you like to do? You can go watch the movie with your brother? No.
Here, you can play on my phone.
But that was really hard. Like, I had Stormy for 10 plus years.
Go in the living room.
And I wouldn't say like I was a top-notch dog owner. You know, like, to me, dogs are hard because our work started to have us traveling more, and it was hard with a dog. And I'm not a pet owner that allows pets like on my furniture or on my bed because I don't want the animal hair. Now that I become a cat owner, that can't be helped. Like, cats do what they want. You
That
can't
they do.
keep them off of anything. So, but I mean, that was really hard for us to have to make that decision, and I held her while they gave her the injection and stuff like that. In fact, she's on my mantle.
Yeah, that would be tough. And
So I think there's still a love. So it's not saying that because you're a pet owner, you're a horrible person, or if you're a pet parent that you're crazy. I think it just has to do with where you're at in your life. I think you can fluctuate
right.
on how you view yourself and your pets based on where you are in your life. Because like Tessa was saying, it's just my husband and I. So our focus is our pets and getting them toys and playing with them, and they get the best food and all that kind of stuff because that's who we have to focus on.
Right, but even in a situation where you don't necessarily have kids, though, and you consider yourself a pet parent, is your pet equivalent to you and your spouse? If it came down to your cat or your spouse, what are you going to choose? So you can still end up in that same scenario where are they equal in your household to the people living within the home?
Well, and I think that has to do too with, was the pet purchased or adopted when you guys were together, or did the pet come with the person you're with? Because then there's a different bond, right? So if you came into a relationship having this childhood dog for 10 years, then what is it to you? Is it spouse first or the dog first?
See, and my personal view is humans always come first.
Yeah. Tessa, you're not talking much during this one.
I just don't get it.
You don't get the pet parent?
No. And I guess I've been around a lot of people that were like that, and it just annoyed me so much that now I'm judgy. I'm the Karen this episode.
And I might get a lot of judgment for this, but also, like, when it comes to, pets who become sick or things like that, like, I'm not going to go bankrupt paying vet bills to the point where my family struggles. And a lot of people I know are going to judge me for saying that, but I am not going to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to keep an animal alive.
And a lot of times you don't even know if it's going to work.
Exactly.
So-
Exactly. And so my family's not going to suffer because I'm now spending every dollar we have to
and
maybe keep the pet alive.
And people could be mad that you say that, but I don't think you say it lightly. Like, it wouldn't be an easy decision for you to make. It would still be sad
Right.
and heartbreaking to the family of a loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't minimize it by any means. Or if, I take my cats to the vet for their routine stuff, or if, my cat was a little sick and needed a medication, or it's not like I'm not going to pay money to
Right.
keep my animal healthy, but there is that limit for me where, if I have a vet coming to me like, you need to do this $10,000 surgery for a 60% chance your animal's going to live, I'm sorry, but I'm going to pay you the couple $100 to put them down.
Right.
That's me. It's not everybody. I get that, but that's where I draw the line.
Well, and it can be quite expensive. Tessa, you have big dogs,
Mm-hmm.
which could end up having hip issues. They sometimes have stomach issues. These bigger dogs have health
Well, and
issues.
Houston has that Addison's disease, so his medication is expensive. I don't pay for it, but
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't pay for it if I had to.
Right, because Houston isn't getting really better.
No, and he will never get better.
He kind of seems to get better for a little bit, and then he's back into the ER vet.
Yep,
spending
and then
a
it's
lot of money.
Thousands on IVs and being in the ER, so
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
And that's where, in my opinion, they're not equivalent to people or
Right.
your children.
Because your
I will
children
spend
would do
$10 million
anything.
or be $10 million in debt to save my child's life, but I would never do that for a pet.
So how do you feel this says parents of younger children describe their experience of pet parenting in terms of the differences between parenting pets versus children. Many reported that parenting pets helped prepare them for having human children.
I believe that to a certain degree. I think that they're not comparable in what it takes to. I just think it gives somebody a sense of responsibility to a point, and having something else rely on you. You're on, I have to go home and let the dog out. I have to make sure the animal's fed, or whatever the case is. I think it eases you into someone else depending on you, but it is not the same as raising a child.
I think that here's the people that I see doing it. Single people.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they need some companionship, which I understand. And people who are new in a relationship and they want to play house and pretend that they have kids without actually having kids.
Or like in
Which
our
is
case where
fine.
the children are all grown and out
Yeah.
of the home.
Or, mom and dad. They got rid of me, they got Buddy, and now Buddy's their kid. Both situations are fine, but I think that, I personally draw the line at comparing your kids or having kids to having pets.
It's not the same.
No.
So participants were talking about how they feel guilt. So you have a pet, and then you have children, and that there's a level of guilt about how your relationship with your pet changes after having children. Right? You're not completely focused on your pet.
Oh, that's something that would never even be relevant.
Like they don't
for
have
me.
the same level of time, energy, and or work
Go in the living
into
room.
the pet.
No, I don't think that'd be relevant for me. And if I really wanted to sit down and pick that apart,
I would not feel guilt about that.
they'd be getting more love from the children then at that point. So where you're not giving the attention, they're going to be getting that on the other end.
And I don't think
anyways.
there's guilt. That's natural. We naturally give more to our children.
I
Well,
mean, as sad as it is, it happens to our actual children. You have kids, and then you have more kids.
And then they
They
get
have
less
different
attention.
needs.
Yeah.
The babies are automatically going to get more attention, so that's just natural in general.
Right. Well, and the article talks about, too, is the difference in animals. Whereas cats aren't as needy. Now, I would argue that because our youngest is a kitten. and just always wants our attention. And how dogs might suffer more from that, where a kid is now coming to the home, because they require more care, more
Yeah.
hands-on care, more taking outside, more whatever. Whereas cats, when they want to be alone,
Yeah.
they're going to be left alone.
Well, and I think, don't dogs naturally have attachment issues?
I think so, because dogs come from where they're like wolves, so they're used to pack
Right.
behavior.
They're not loners.
They're not loners. And so when you get a dog, and this is just my belief, always know this podcast is our belief and our opinions. We don't always research this stuff, and you may disagree with us, but I think dogs also form a pack with their owners, with their pet owners. Like, you're part of their pack. So I think they struggle more when the focus is not on them as a dog anymore, whereas cats are more resilient.
But don't
To the
cats
change.
generally, like, aren't they in large groups? Is it called a pride?
I think if you're thinking like lions, but then sometimes the pride is the pack, or the pride is chosen, right? You watch those animal shows and it's like the lion has left and now a new male must come in and fight for these female cats. We watch a lot of animal shows. Only because we like to watch our cats watch the show with us. It's just funny. Oh my God. Am I a pet parent?
Yes.
Yes. You are.
I just want to point out that Joe has a backpack so he can carry his cat with him.
So yeah, our youngest cat tends to travel with us. We have a little litter box that goes on the floorboard of the back seat. And I do have a cat backpack that has like a window in it and vents in it. So
You're
that,
a pet parent.
And we would do it with our older cat, but him in a car is not a thing.
He brought his cat camping in his camper.
Yes.
Oh,
No, my
And
cats
when
never.
we're not home, who takes care of my cats?
Me.
And it really isn't. It's not so much food and water. It's more like let the cats know that there's still human interaction in the home.
Mm-hmm.
Which I need you to do that next week for me. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I have an existing key to his house, so I can tend to the cats when necessary.
Bree is the only one that actually has a key to our apartment.
I'm fine with that. I hate cats so much.
I think it's easier for you, maybe less stressful for you to care for the cats than my husband's plants.
Yes.
There is stress in caring for my husband's plants.
Yes. I am way more nervous about taking care of the plants than I am the pets.
Because if you kill one of his plants,
I was so scared one time that I did. It was not looking good. And I was so afraid to tell them, and then I was so relieved, and he's like, "No, it's just dormant for the winter. It's fine. That's normal." And I was like, "Oh, thank God."
you can see some of my husband's plants behind us. They are beautiful. He does talk to them and spray them with his little water bottle every day.
Yes, he does tell me I have to talk to them and blow on them.
Yes, he have to blow the carbon monoxide on them and show them love. There are plants upstairs now too.
Good to know.
So we'll close out. Pet owner, pet parent.
Pet owner.
Do you think you'll ever be a pet parent?
I hope not. Maybe with like a turtle or something.
You can get a turtle backpack.
Yeah.
Bree, pet owner, pet parent.
Pet owner.
What do you think about though when your kids grow and leave your home? You know, there's that syndrome that happens when you're.
Honestly, I think I'm going to even be more pet owner.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get rid of my kids and then put more responsibility on myself to be like, "Oh, no, just kidding. You better step it up in the pet owner game and become a pet parent." No, likely I'm going to be like, "Please take them with you
That's what I'm saying.
when you move out."
You have 2 kids, 2 cats. They can each take one when
Yes.
they leave.
All you. And as a matter of fact, they already like one cat is one's and one is the other. So take your respective cats and get out.
And on that note, we'll talk to you next time.